Good. Right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Dalek 451, the new Dalek Emperor, and sorry to everyone about the slight delay because I was busy rushing around trying to get this stream set up, and putting out links and so on and so forth. But don't worry. But here we are, more set now, and looks like I already have my first guest. Hello, I'm guessing Stephen Amore.
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't know where Captain is.
Yeah, he should be. He should be up here any
It should be up here right now.
momentarily.
Nope.
And let's have a listen.
I'm still in the yogurt.
Well, he's in the chat. Hail Plocksword. Hail Hakime. Yeah. Look. It takes a bit of time. It always takes me a few minutes to properly set this stream up, and get it going. So, but here we are. So, coming to the BBC, this unscheduled full titles of the Daleks. Who else? Anyone else here?
Make the call go critical, mother. Oh, that's all we need. That's the Mother, is it? No, that's how I'm thinking of HAL 2000, the 2001 movie. What's Mother from? Make the call go critical, mother. What's that from? Or am I too far ahead? Oh, maybe I'm too far ahead in the chat. Sorry. So I'm jumping ahead of the chat, aren't I? Sorry about
that. I shall humbly decline your generous offer of panelization, Sir. That's all right, Ploxel. You don't have to come. You don't have to come up here, but anyone's welcome.
Right.
And I'm sure Moises will. Since I put the link for the stream out on my Discord, I'm sure Moises will probably join us soon. And you're getting the kettle on. Right, fair enough, Captain. You join us when you can.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
Dalek, did you have any plans for your stream at all? It's okay if you haven't. I'm just eating and drinking at the moment before I go off to bed. It's the plan, but I'm fine. But Actually, darling, have you got any feelings? We have this new Doctor. Do you think there's going to be? Do you feel in your water there's going to be any good Dalek stories coming up with the new Doctor, or is it going to be a continuation of Jodie? What do you feel in your bones?
Honestly, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, I think we're just gonna get. I think we're gonna get more of the same from what we had with Chibnall.
Which is both bad and in one way good, because if it kills Doctor Who, it can then be rested and resurrected with a whole new production team and end this nonsense if it's bad. But if he does pull it off, which I don't think he will, and you don't think he will, then good for them. But I've got the feeling it's going to be digging further the grave they dug for themselves. It's like, okay, then if you want to kill it, because that means we can clear it and begin again in a couple of years with a different team who are not interested in, actually write stories rather than harangue the viewers.
I pretty much agree with that because you're right.
We're both going to get cancelled then if we agree with that, obviously.
Speaking of, and we mentioned of the captain, he's here. Hey, hi, Captain.
Call themselves woke. I'll tell you. Listen here, Russell T. Davis. You once again forces us on us. The one thing we don't want: another man doctor. You sexist fucking bitch. Yeah. I've only got 2 requirements for my woke agenda. 1, can you please make Doctor Who a woman? And 2, can you please not make it Jodie Shit-taker?
Can you make her disabled? See? Look, I'm waiting for a doctor in coma. That's why I'm waiting for a woman doctor in coma. That's the future. Just let her out.
I can't believe another man.
woman
They're going to
doctor in coma.
Another male
And
doctor.
she's stunning and brave as well.
Pandering
Whilst
to
in
the
coma.
right wing yet again.
And while she's in coma, she's still better than all the men. That's the important thing. She still knows more than all the men, and she solves everything quicker and better than all the men, despite being in coma. That's the Doctor Who that I want to see. It's the only way forward. It's the right Doctor. It's the proper Doctor. As we all know, Doctor Who's always been a woman.
Yes, exactly.
The whole thing before 2018, that wasn't Doctor Who. It's only been since 2018 there's actually been a Doctor Who. Before that, it was always toxic. It was all toxic, and
Toxic
that's why it's
Who. Toxic Who.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Doctor Who's always been.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know what we need. I know. The next Doctor should be played by Amber Heard, and then they can call it Doctor Pooh. Doctor Pooh.
That would be perfect.
Well, it's already been Doctor Pooh already, but just
Doctor
make it official.
Pooh and the time-traveling Gelosia.
Just makes it official, doesn't it?
I've left a little present at Pudding Lane. Oh, you haven't, Dr. Amber, have you?
Well, she's going to get
one day.
Jobs.
No, when she leaves, that Amber can go. One day I shall come back. Well, that's a pledge. Sitting here today. Have you actually come back? No, but I pledge to come back.
I pledge to come back, but I pledge
one
to come back, but I won't.
There you go. I use the terms pledge and not come back at all, you fucking mumpties, synonymously. One day I shall come back. No, you won't, you liar.
No, you won't. Exactly. One day I pledge to come back. But no, you won't.
I mean, I had my suspicions of what before she got the job. Well, no, she had the job before she started filming. When I saw that costume, it looked like a play school presenter. I had a bad feeling at that time. I thought, oh no, she may. However you think of her as an actor, I'm gonna give her a chance.
It's like Jonathan Noakes and Peter Purves got fucking mugged by Bungle and Zippy.
That's right. That's right.
In fact, you might as well have. They're featuring as Doctor Who's new assistant. That's right. It's Jodie Whittaker and Bungle and Zippy. Oh, where we go next, Doctor? Shut up, Zippy.
I feel like I should have known. I should have known this whole thing. This whole thing was going the way it was right from the start. Because when she was first announced and first shown as the Doctor, I was like, oh crap, for a while. But then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna see if they can make, if they can make this work. If I can watch this and it feels like Doctor Who, then fine. I can live with it. But obviously, right from the very first episode, it didn't feel like Doctor Who.
Felt more like rain, but wake up through the trees and the houses, Doctor flying high. Here comes the TARDIS going through the sky. Here comes Doctor Who. Where are we going today, Doctor? Now I don't know. Come on, Bungle, let's go.
Look who's here. Milton knows the Insane Witch King.
Oh, speaking of Muppets.
Well, at this point, Milton, it probably is like an anime, a really silly, one of those really silly, over the top comedy animes. Yeah.
Even Beavis and Butthead managed to get their time travel correct, as evidenced in the new Beavis and Butthead movie. When they travel forward in time, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, they disappear like they should.
Yeah, because they don't meet their future selves, do they?
Right, exactly. There you go. Beavis and Butthead now officially held to a higher standard than Star Trek or Doctor Who.
Because heck, I think even did And oh god, I think actually, come to think of it, Doctor Who did that a lot with past and future selves meeting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most important question, Dalek. Where's Moises? He's our bread and our circus.
I'm not sure. I don't know where Moises is. I mean,
Oh, Moises, why hast thou forsaken us?
Could go on Discord and ask for him.
Please, I love a bit of the Moises. You should have him as a regular co-host.
I think earlier on my server, I think he said something about being bored. So,
there you go. That's why I like it. So when he comes on here and he's still bored, he happily tell everyone that he's bored and he's leaving, and then everyone else left, and then he stayed for another 3 hours to tell you how he was bored. Remember, Stephen, if you're bored, you're boring.
But I have a Sarod, so I can't be boring. Well, the Sarod can't be boring. I can, but
my problem is I'm too excited all the time.
But hold on. If I'm good at boring, I can go get a job with the coal mine, can't I? With the coal board.
Oh, because of being boring. Oh, that's exciting. Come on, people, keep up. The jokes are flying.
Yep.
Come on, let's hope Moises is bored.
Well, I've just messaged him on Discord. Let's see if he replies.
Yeah, disboard, more like. You know what I mean? Disboard.
Disboard. You're having your. What are you drinking, Captain? Tea, coffee?
Nice cup of tea. Tea Earl Grey hot, not Earl Grey. Twining's English breakfast, extra strong.
Does anyone remember? Because I do like the stuff. I'm buying it. Schweppes.
For my wall of tea, darling. See my wall of tea.
That's wow. That's a lot of tea.
A lot of tea.
The thing is, in New Zealand, you're not going to be hit by a nuclear strike. So he's stocked up to last after an apocalypse. But that's one place in the world you're not going to get attacked. Unless you get attacked by rabid Kiwi.
Why do you think I'm here? When civilization collapses, I won't even notice for 3 weeks.
As fast as that, it'll take longer, to be honest.
I mean, out here, civilization has collapsed.
His trouble.
The white man arrived, yes.
His trouble. Hello, Milton.
Hello, everybody.
The bully's here. He's going to deliberately try and make me angry again.
I wouldn't deliberately try making you angry again, Captain Cockney. I'm interesting. I do new things, not just the same thing over and over again.
Right. You keep asking. Oh, really? Well, why do you keep asking me the anime question over and over again?
He's got you there, Milton. You fucking temple.
Yes, but I still haven't got a concrete answer from you, and I refuse to Google it until I get one.
Yeah, change the record, Milton. Change the shtick. We've heard it all a million times before. Got any new original ideas, Miltons?
I was wondering whether or not Descartes was a replicant, and I was also thinking about time travel, and I thought I'd make a whole YouTube channel about it.
Welcome to Things I'm Planning to Do with Milton Knowles.
I'm also planning on stealing all the plugs in New Zealand, and in that way nobody can have a bath.
All the plugs in New Zealand.
That's a hell of an ambition. Other people just think about world conquest or whatever other means of taking over the world. You just want to steal plugs. That's a great, yeah.
Well, what else would I fill a big hole in the ground with?
Well, it's more than the boys ever achieved, so yeah.
I don't know. How about your pretty head?
Captain Cockney, you think I'm pretty? Oh, you're so sweet.
I wonder if BC will join us.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'd love that if BC did join us.
Save us, BC, please.
Well, look at it this way: no matter what we do, it can't be as bad as the current Doctor Who.
Yeah, as we were saying that. I mean, I've only seen clips. I've never sat through more than a few minutes. I have not subjected myself to that kind of masochistic torture.
I will put it this. It takes me 3 episodes to get used to a doctor. I realized after 5 minutes of the first episode, this wasn't for me.
Wow, that's a lot. Did a lot better than I did. I lasted 6 episodes.
Well, I was saying earlier that as soon as before she was on film, when I saw that costume, my alarm bells were ringing. So as I said before, and I've always said since I saw it, I thought, you look like a play school presenter. If anyone's old enough to remember that, it's like, that's not a good sign.
The thing is,
play school was for 5-year-olds or 4-year-olds.
At first my problem wasn't the fact. It wasn't really the fact she was a woman. It wasn't any kind of.
I know from her being a woman. I mean, I look forward to the idea. I just couldn't. It wasn't the fact she was a woman. It's the fact I couldn't stand her specifically. That gurning she does as well.
I just found her. Yeah, I found her absolutely unbearable, and because she was. Yeah, her stupid face, her stupid hair, her stupid costume, and especially her stupid voice.
She was a good supporting actor in Torchwood, and she is a good supporting actor. She might be a good lead for certain roles. I don't know. I haven't seen her in many stuff.
She was never in.
But this is not the role for her.
I was thinking. I thought I've never seen Torchwood. She
wasn't in Torchwood. Was she?
Wasn't she? Everybody keeps telling me she was, and I don't remember seeing her. I remember watching every episode.
And now you're commenting on her performance.
No, I'm fairly certain she wasn't in Torchwood. No.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't a bad actor in Torchwood.
No,
not really. No. There weren't bad actors in Torchwood. It's just most of the stories sucked.
Oh, you take that back.
Well, we know that John Barrowman gave a fantastic performance off for air because his Willie was being shown to everyone. And then the BBC had a fit.
I watched that as a young, impressionable teenager.
He's been redeemed now, hasn't he? Because he got kicked off because everyone had a meltdown. And he's like, oh, but he's gay and he's fun, so we'll bring him back. So he shouldn't be kicked off in the first place. So he showed his Willie to a few people. Big deal.
Oh, now they say big deal. Huh.
I mean, he's not Jimmy Savile or anything. He's just, I think whether it is, no, I'm an actor. Actually, I've gone further. It's not off stage like either. I mean, on stage, I'm on film being stark naked. Thankfully, I know where the film is, me stark naked, but it's out there somewhere. And there's a stage show where I turn up stark naked. And I don't think there's any photos of that, thankfully. But, no one complained about that.
If you're an actor, can you act like an interesting person?
Oh, that's beyond my range.
Sorry. I'm sorry. That was a big joke, but it's like, you set me up, man. You set me up.
I'm not that talented. No, a lot of actors are really boring and self-centered. Not all of them, because I can't slag them off. Because obviously, some of my mates and I work with actors, but there's quite a few actors out there who are just self-centered and therefore boring. And of course, actors are now more boring than they used to be because actors don't drink and smoke like they used to. You go back to days of Richard Burton and the like; they were alcoholics and smoked heavily, so they're more fun. Unlike the fuckers now. Oh, can I have a glass
Sounds like
of
everybody
Wilka?
Captain Cockney knows.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, some of you know James Coburn is, and if you don't know his name, but you know who he is, because you see him at some point, James Coburn on screen. James Coburn gets so pissed in Hollywood that when he drove home, he had to have a map every time in his car to find his own home. Now that's having some fun and living.
Wow.
See, I don't judge people for getting drunk, but driving drunk, whoa, that's not fucking on, man.
Yeah, this was the 70s, and it was this is the Hollywood Hills at night. It's not like on the main street. This is like these big empty open roads on this private estate, because they're all multi-millionaire mansions. So it's not like there's people walking around or anything. I know what you're saying, but yeah, and also the 70s. In the 70s, people used to drink and drive a lot. They didn't have the laws in at that time. There was breathalyzer in the late 60s, but the anti-drinking laws sort of came in later. My schoolmate, one of my schoolmates' dads, he would finish day at work, have a couple of whiskies at the pub, and drive home. And that in the 70s, that was normal. Now, thankfully, of course, the laws are stricter. Back then, that was perfectly legal. As long as you're under a limit, it was legal. And of course, since then, thankfully, have tightened it up for safety reasons. But say 1970s were a whole different matter. And I say with James Coburn, these were these big empty winding roads anyway. It was only like a private, it's only these big mansions, so there was no danger of hitting anyone. But son, you're driving so damn slow anyway because you could barely get in the car. But you do have a point though, Milton. I agree with you that you have a point there. And it shouldn't be happening now. But many actors are so boring now. Kind of have a glass of water, and if he's really daring, can you put a drop of lemon in it? Oh, fuck off.
I just put a few drops of wormwood and nightshade extract into my water, and everything's fun after that.
You put nightshade in water?
In the morning.
Wormwood,
it's otherwise known as belladonna.
Yeah, I know. You're talking to someone who did pharmacology. One of my sons just said university was pharmacology, and I think when you say you put nightshade in water, okay. Not wormwood. I go along with that. That can affect the heart. You can press aconitum. It's dangerous that. But there's only a few drops. So this belladonna you put into the water, is it like you purchased it? The liquid you purchased it, have you? Or are you making your own?
No, you got to make your own tinctures. Unfortunately, it's only equivalency to a quarter of a berry. You technically can have 3.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I need to make because there's also homeopathy. As belladonna's used in homeopathy, I use a tiny bit. I did try growing belladonna. I ordered seeds from Black Isle in Scotland, and most of the seeds didn't work. I got from that guy, so it looks like they got damp and started germinating and died before they even arrived. Only a few of the varieties I bought from him survived.
Be careful. It's a tricky plant because it can be growing in one paddock perfectly fine, but the paddock next door to it has a different fertilizer, and it turns into something very nasty.
Because it absorbs arsenic. Yeah, one thing it absorbs well is arsenic. Belladonna. It's one thing that makes it so dangerous. In Cornwall, it's delicate. It absorbs arsenic so very well for the roots. Belladonna.
Yeah, my wife will check the pH of the soil and a bunch of other stuff before she even harvests it. Yeah, I don't touch it.
Fair enough. But I say, you know what you're doing. Change it a little bit about right. Just I got a bit worried about when you said that, but actually, you know what you're doing. Clearly, you know what you're doing. Just a little bit. So that's fine then. And of course, wormwood.
I don't recommend to try it at home, kids.
No. Exactly. I mean, I can think of a plant I've tried once before. Nearly stopped my heart. So I'm not going to say what it is, kids. I will not say what it is, although anyone with some knowledge of herbalism could probably guess exactly what it is. But I won't sound lying because it is deadly dangerous, and it was stupid what I did. I was bloody lucky. There's a reason why I did it. I'm not going
was it?
What?
No,
not hemlock. No, not hemlock. No, it wasn't Socrates' favourite tipple. No, something else. But yeah. But there was a reason why I did it. But I don't need to go into that. That's another whole story. But it's so dangerous. I'm not going to say online anyway what it was. But anyone with the basic medical knowledge or pharmacology could probably work it out, or herbalism work it out. But it's not worth endangering people because some will try it. So don't go in near it. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you are taking belladonna because I'm absolutely fine with people taking it because as you probably know, back in the Victorian era, it's one of those things you could buy across the counter because women often use it to dilate their pupils.
Which, quite frankly, is a cheat in a relationship.
Yes.
They should be more honest.
Yep. It makes them Amber Heard, doesn't it? Victorian
very improper.
With Amber Heard, of the time. Yep. Now they use contact lenses and the like to deceive you, to steal your soul.
I can't believe people got upset about people doing that, and it was a nasty rumor about people back in the day.
So you actually got. I just do have in my shed. I do actually have a bag of wormwood in my shed. I never got around to making the absinthe actually. So do you make your own absinthe then? You say you put some wormwood in, so you are making absinthe.
The wormwood and the nightshade is normally leached into Everclear, and if I can get a hold of it, I'd normally mix it with a little bit of hemlock.
Oh, I've never thought of even trying that. I remember that. That's
the ingredients for a particular initiation ritual, but it also makes a good cocktail for removing all pain from your joints.
Well, I didn't know about that. I know that it is Crowley. Alistair Crowley's writings, he mentions about using strychnine as a stimulant. So obviously, again, that's strychnine you have to use in tiny amounts. It's a tiny amount to be a stimulant. If you go too far, of course, you end up with your stomach muscles trying to tear themselves from their ligaments and die in extreme pain in 20 minutes. But he does say in his books, taking strychnine, because you used to be able to buy strychnine across the counter. They could buy arsenic across the counter. So you could buy strychnine and use a tiny bit as a powerful stimulant.
Alistair Crowley is not a role model for anybody. I mean, he literally ran a sex cult where he was... literally one of the mandates is for literally every female there to be a prostitute and every male there to fuck them and try to give them as many diseases as possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like you know about these things, but also, of course, Mussolini chucked him out. But of course, Count Dankler did a Mad Lads on him recently, and then he did I can't remember the guy's name, a Turkish guy who was also basically running a harem, and the men were orders to fuck the women, and when the Turkish police and the judges busted him, they found 69,000 Viagra, contraceptives, something. 69,000 contraceptives were found. Because the women were ordered to have sex with him and with his male cohorts, and it was non-stop sex, and everyone was getting abused. And the guy's still in prison.
Yeah, he
a 1,000-year prison sentence.
I've joked about it before in the past, but this time I'm not joking. I hope that's happening to him in prison.
Well, it's Turkey. If you've seen Midnight Express, it probably is happening to him in prison.
Yeah, like
Midnight Express is a true story.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put an exception to the rule. He's somebody that actually deserves that.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he was it not? Yeah, he was. He wasn't a religious cult as such, but he was set himself as kind of like Islamic guru, Muslim guru, and he got a lot. It's on YouTube, probably on YouTube somewhere. But there's Count Dankler showed excerpts from his show, and he's had a show, and it was one of the most popular shows throughout the Middle East and the Muslim world. And it starts with him sitting in his chair and some young attractive woman dancing to music. One of his harem or followers, followers. And so that's one of the reasons this show was so popular in the Middle East. And he's got to wait for a long time. Then a woman escaped, and she said, I was repeatedly raped all the time. So what's going on? And then the judges got the court orders, and they all charged in and grabbed all of them across Turkey. So he's got 1,000 years in prison now for it.
1,000 years in prison? Now, how do you... hypothetically, how would you fully enforce that sentence? You'd have to literally bury him in prison or something.
Well, in the Guinness Book of Records, I recall, it says, I'm sure it was like a 130,000 year sentence for someone in Mexico. It's like 20, maybe longer, about 1980. Someone in Mexico, a murderer in Mexico, has got something like a 50,000, something crazy. It's some huge number. It'd be generations and generations. I think it's like a mass murder, something like that. Like 30 years ago, he got a huge sentence in Mexico. It was in the Guinness Book of Records at the time. So basically, the entire world could disappear underwater. The sun could blow up, and he was still serving his sentence.
But if the entire world blows up, and then the sun sinks underwater, I mean, at that point, I mean, if he gets out, I mean, who cares? I mean, it's like he's long enough.
Yeah, he served enough time by then. Well, you
get a free pass on multiple murder after that.
By the way, how does I know it's bitter, but when you make up your cocktail, does the wormwood taste bitter in it?
I don't normally taste it unless I'm putting it into just the water. When I do taste it, it goes into bourbon.
Oh, I see. So, okay, right.
I don't notice it in the bourbon. It's literally a drop. It's literally a drop in a couple of liters.
Oh, that is like almost homeopathic amounts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 drops.
I mean, at that level, you can take not just going to you can take cyanide in those amounts and be okay. Although, yeah, there's one thing that can kill you. I used to years ago. I think I've got one new edition of the DEFRA of the Department of Farming handbook. Really good book. It does warn that if you eat apple seeds, of course you can eat apples, you're okay. But if you eat apple seeds by the handful, you will die of cyanide poison. There was a case of a man, and he ate apple seeds by the handfuls. He must have stored all his apple seeds. And he took enough cyanide to kill himself. It wasn't his intention, but that's what happened to him.
What? Why would you eat that many apple seeds to begin with?
Some kind of Shropshire thing. I have no idea. And why would you have so many apple seeds? But that's what happened. Of course, apple has tiny amounts of cyanide. Cherries have more cyanide. Cherry stones have more cyanide. But of course, you can't digest cherry stones because it's solid. The gastric acid, the hydrochloric acid in your stomach will not break down a cherry stone, so you can't get any kind of cherry poisoning from cherry stones.
I know if you feed a bunch of apple seeds to pigs and then you extract their kidneys and liver, you can just I think it's either distill off or render down the cyanide from it.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. It could be filtered out by the animal's kidneys.
Yeah.
In the same way, well, it's not the same, but similarly that if you get someone to eat fly agaric, you can get a hell of a kick out of the fly agaric from their urine, which apparently was what the forager shamans used to do, particularly in Northern Europe and Scandinavia.
The better one is to get the reindeers to eat the mushrooms. That's why they're nicknamed reindeer mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, version it's the particular reindeer, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know who came up with the idea of let's harvest a cup full of reindeer piss, drink it. Ha ha! We're Vikings.
I've got fly agaric here. I'm not sure whether it is. It's dried. It's here somewhere. I'll take a fly agaric. That's a point. I think it might be in the shed. It might be in the shed with the wormwood, actually. I've got a big bag of wormwood I've got to brew up and have a go with. Because, obviously you can buy... So carry on.
Never mix these things with ceremonial magic, boys and girls. There's always a negative result.
Oh, I see. Because as to say, you're into it, and I'm into it. So, I've got memory.
Are you into ceremonial magic?
Yes. No, not yes. Less now than I used to be because it's a lot of effort to get things going. But it's only used to be, yeah. Particularly, I've got memory problems because I'm on fucking pills for PTSD and other related symptoms. But David Welsh guy, can't remember his name. He's got his book, Primer of Magic, which was the Kabbalistic rituals he took, plus other stuff. But less so than I used to because it just takes time setting up, and you got to get your mind focused and try and visualize things. And
I got taught by an angry old ex-biker, and now I'm into more animism than ceremonial magic because it's a lot of work for very little results.
Yes, very little to say. I've been reading E.A. Koetting's books and that American guy, and he says that.
You've been reading E.A. Koetting's books? Recently. I got kicked off his channel for calling him shiny pants.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't buy that. I didn't pay for anything. I got his book. I didn't pay for any of it. But yeah. But yeah, I've got his books here. But
in the communities I hang out with, he's a bit of a meme at this point. Like that's about it. He's just a meme. But what they did to him was fucking nasty. Like the guy wasn't really hurting anybody, and then they essentially set him up.
I only heard bits of it. I don't know much about it. I just have got his books and I haven't been following. I mean, I'm on these Living God forums. Check only a couple times I check. I'm not on there regularly. So if I'm thinking of something specific, I kind of see if I can dig out something there, see if someone knows something. Usually it's other people asking questions rather than any kind of answers. But I know he's kind of like a meme character, but I don't know much about what's been happening to him. I know him from his works, not from his life. Other than I know he's a carpet cleaner apparently. But...
Yeah. My favorite thing to call people from those groups is God botherers. Like, I don't even particularly care. I just like winding them up with that. You're God botherers. What do you mean? You bother the Christian gods? No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. Yes, you do. It all comes from the Old Testament.
That's right. It's like the Goetia, isn't it? Goetia, you're supposed to be summoning devils, but you put so many names of God because you're dealing with something that's supposed to be absolutely deadly. So you're just defending yourself by you're invoking God more than if you're in a church with the Pope and the head of the mosques in Saudi Arabia. Somebody's invoking God.
Oh yeah, it's like they're using the same entities that Solomon was given permission to summon, and then they claim they're not doing Solomonic work, and it's like, okay,
yep.
I was trained in only removing these things, but I'm going to make fun of you as much as I can.
Exactly, but yeah. So
sorry, we've taken over the conversation, you two.
By the way, say animism. So you're working more with nature spirits now, are you?
Yeah, I prefer the more northern animism because it's more everything can have a soul, not everything does have a soul.
Yeah, I understand. So you're dealing with things like, is it like oak trees and because of their runic connections, or you're dealing with specific plants, are you? And energies of
Normally the only time I deal with oak, to be honest, is when I need acorns or I'm making planks to make staves on, which is actually Icelandic.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I've got an ash tree in the front garden, so I'm really happy. I've got all the ash branches I could ever want. Every year, I harvest ash every year. It's fantastic.
I don't.
Isn't every tree an ash tree if you got a lighter?
I don't think either of them are going to join us.
Why? But are you somewhere?
Tell them that you're going to destroy the Doctor.
Yeah, I'm going to destroy the Doctor through infernal magic.
Yes, magic from the become a living god. Join the Infernal Empire.
This is stuff.
Follow the Tree of Death, which is exactly the same as the Tree of Life. They're an inflection upon each other, but we'll claim it's a separate thing. And then we'll tell you can do a lifelong path working in one day.
And he wants to charge you a load of money, but obviously he's got a family to look after and he wants to make some money, but he doesn't want to charge a shitload of money.
The thing is, the Tree of Life, you can be introduced to it in one day. Going through the path working is literally living through your entire life. The end of it is literally your death. Why are they trying to rush to die?
Yeah, it's just a strange thing, that. And especially
what's that?
Especially if you're working with, if you try to work with ceremonial magic, you need a lot more than a day and just shitload of work for dubious little results. So yeah, it can take more than a day. So you're rushing to your death, but if you're doing ceremonial, you're going to spend a long time. Normally, I mean, I've had some quick things occur, some odd things.
Well, it's supposed to be between 6 to 9 months for a decent result, but getting in the result is quite subjective, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the people that argue that it's psychological, they have a very fair argument, to be honest.
Yeah, what could you mean? Kind of confirmation bias going on? If any kind of result seems confirmation bias, yeah. I know that can happen, but
Well, regardless of whether or not it is psychological, it does actually help out a lot of people. So, quite frankly, I'm on the side of if it works, it works.
Yep, exactly. What was I reading recently? One of the occult books I'm recently reading, guys, was once again they're reiterating. Was it Coed? No, it wasn't. Someone else about if you have doubts when you're doing any kind of ceremony or ritual, that's going to kill it stone dead. No matter how strange or how mundane the words are, how absurd it is, it's your conviction that's going to help it along. And if you have doubts, it's just going to kill anything you're trying to do stone dead to get no results.
That one is a double-edged. That one is a double-edged sword. You shouldn't have a doubt while you're doing the ritual. You should not have a doubt till the whole ritual's over and done. But you should always question whether or not it's just in your head, or else you get people like one of my friends that was into Become a Living God that thought he was a lizard boy.
Yeah, that's some more sounds like schizophrenia.
Captain, are you still there?
Well, I am indeed there. Yes, I am completely here listening to everything going on, Dalek.
No, you can interrupt and talk about something different. Welcome to.
Yeah. You can talk about
the Daleks?
Frogs, ice cream, anything you want.
Ice cream? Ice cream. I like mint ice cream. No, it's not my favourite. I do like mint ice cream.
Oh my god, I have the best ice cream in the world right now. If you give me a few seconds, I'm going to put it on.
Does it contain belladonna?
Wait, what?
No.
Okay. What ice cream?
I'm about to show it. It's like.
Welcome to Things I'm Eating, the endlessly fascinating topic of discussion for today's show. Welcome to Random Things I'm Eating. Here's a cheese sandwich I made earlier.
Well, we don't see you showing anything.
No.
That's not exactly because it would be boring.
No.
Oh, saying about if you want to hear about people eating. Say, if you want to see about people eating, go on to the Lotus Eaters, and they're one of their latest videos. They're what's it called? Adult Comfort Science, like from yesterday. And what it was, LinkedIn follow one of the employers of a day's work, and all she always is, she goes there and she talks about chai tea, eating more tea, does F all, eats. And that's what it is. This video is a promotional video for LinkedIn. Oh, she gets paid $70,000 as well per year. And $70,000. And the video was about this is the day's work. And the day's work seems to be an awful lot of chai tea and eating and literally doing F all.
What was that? What did it say? Premium chocolate cookies and fudge.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yep. It's got chocolate, cookies, Russian fudge. And it's all in one ice cream.
Wow.
It's super fucking good.
Wow, that's new one on me. Russian fudge is a new one on me. What's special about Russian fudge? Obviously, I know what Devon fudge is, but Russian fudge. What's the difference?
Oh, the difference about it is it owns Kiev.
That makes sense.
I shouldn't say that.
It's
just Russian fudge. I don't know.
Is it full of vodka? Is it full of vodka?
I hope it is.
I work with Russians, by the way. Say once I'm an actor, but yeah, I am an actor, and my career was going up, and then big family disaster, and that took priority. So that's why I'm now in the countryside, not having a great time on the front cameras all the time. But I was going to say, one of the last things I did before life literally fell apart, and I ended up going effectively going insane because I was almost carted off because of what happened to my family. One of the last things I did was working with a Russian director in London, and he had a load of Russian guys for the film, and I'm in the movie. I'm also one of the co-directors of the movie, and they're all in military fatigues, and he's got smoke grenades, and he's got simulated guns for everyone. And this is near the nuclear bunker at Braintree in Essex, the decommissioned government nuclear bunker. And I'm going through the countryside, leading these 30 men in uniform, speaking Russian, armed to their teeth with stuff. And we nearly got in a lot of trouble with the police. Nearly, because people were going to call the police on us because they saw these people wandering around in non-British uniforms. So a couple of people nearly, it's like the director going, reassure them it's just a film we're making. So that nearly went well.
All right, well. Oh, right. Well, Potato Revan's in the chat now. Hey, Revan.
Why would you let a potato into your chat? Like, potatoes are weird.
But they can be tasty.
Hope you guys are awesome. 4 a.m. and I'm on doggo duty. My doggo is. Oh, that's sad, Revan.
What's up with your doggy? Get well soon, doggy. If you need to, take him or her to the vet. Obviously, it's in the bleed obvious, but I hope your dog gets well soon.
Sorry to hear that, Revan.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs are the best. I hope they get better soon.
One of my fellow actors, she's got a really lovely dog. Her name's the actor's name is Charlie Bond on Twitter. If you look up her tweets from yesterday, she's got this really lovely dog that she got a few months back. Absolutely lovely it is.
This is Revan.
Were you that guy from the Taskmaster? Because you sound similar to him.
No, I wasn't. No. Nope, that's not me. I was getting to the point of getting fully established, and it's on my Twitter account. But anyway, it was a huge family deaths and ongoing matters, and a massive breakdown by me later. So everything collapsed, and I moved to the countryside to take care of relatives. And then the career's picked up again because I worked on a movie called a new version of Wuthering Heights, and things are sort of moving along. And now it basically comes down to is just that my career can jump up again if we have the money to make movies. So where I am now, in my place, I've got everything, literally everything barring a film crane to make movies, because it has been used on movie sets. The lights, the cameras, the microphones, everything. And it has been used in a couple of film sets. And but my health's not perfect, and I'm enjoying the countryside and peace and quiet. So, my version of King Lear was filming, and then people loved it, and as a result, it's a case of, so everyone thinks what I'm doing is good. That means we should make it a bigger budget. A bigger budget means getting money, and that's why that's now on hold, because people want to be in it and everything, but it needs a bigger budget. So, sort of catch-22. You make a cheap movie, doesn't go anywhere, but people think you're good at what you do, and they like what you're doing, and they say, okay, we can push it up to something larger, but that costs more, and therefore the movie gets halted until you get the money. So end up with a catch-22 situation on that for now. Hey, I wanted to ask you more about your animism. So, for me, certain woodlands and certain streams have a really strong energy for me. I was wondering, your animist work, is that similar for you? There are certain locations or elements that you find are more productive to work with?
I work more with the creatures in the land and the spirits, but there are a few places that have around here that have quite a few reasonably easy creatures, but I'm mostly a bit boring, just sort of plain old Gull worshipper.
Oh,
yes, yes, Revan. Indeed, we are. Thank you for plugging that.
The Orville. Yeah, I keep hearing good things about the Orville. I have not seen it, but I've got the impression I should see it. So I've simply not got round to it.
I wouldn't bother. I kept hearing good things, and now I keep hearing it's turned to shit. So
that's what I've heard too. I've heard it's gone downhill. Is that Dalek Dalek community? Is that true? It's like Captain. I've heard it was good, and I've heard it's gone off the boil completely. Is that true?
I like the Orville, and the people I've found complaining about it are complaining how it's not the same as Star Trek anymore, and it's like it's never actually claimed to be Star Trek.
No, I've never heard that. And besides, you don't want it to be the same as Star Trek. You want it to be its own entity.
Yeah, it's like everybody's waiting for Captain Spock to come out, and it's like, unless it's Cockney Spock, I don't think it's happening.
Well, what I can say is that the latest episode, I wouldn't say it was great, but it was quite good, and definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it a lot more than the previous episode.
Right.
Because
I like how they don't for how time travel works. I like how they don't know for sure how time travel works, and they're only running off the leading theory. That means that there's room to change it later on if they find flaws of the logic. But at the moment, they're going off the theory that it causes multiple timelines if they change anything. So it actually makes sense because they leave the room for, well, if thoughts and ideas on it change later, they can shoehorn it in without it being a total fuck up.
But I like the idea. I mean, I like the idea that if it's a new technology, you're going to be sort of groping with technology. You won't actually know what it is, so be a lot of guesswork. That's why I like the idea of the sound of that. And obviously, you're saying it's actually like a writing device in case they can readjust it. But I like the idea if you've got some like new technology, like with the nuclear bomb, they knew part of what it was capable of, but they didn't realise till the Trinity explosion of just what they had. And even after Trinity, they were then shocked by Hiroshima because of the radiation sickness. Although, of course, radiation sickness has been known about since before Curie became ill. But that was always interesting. Every step forward was although they thought they understood it, there was something new they had not been prepared for. And I like the idea of that being in the Orville bioscience. They're dealing with something. They know how to harness it. They're not fully aware of the consequences of it.
Well, even when it comes to the effects of radiation and wildlife, they are not totally sure how it works because, like, places like, is that Russian place Chernobyl? Because, like, all I've noticed with some of what. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I'll tell you what. The thing about Chernobyl was back when I was at Goldsmiths, I was going over to the music department all the time, so sitting on the PhD lectures. One day, one of the professors came in with recordings from Chernobyl. They've been over to Chernobyl. And they said, for the first time in 100 years, they've seen bears in Chernobyl. And the wildlife had returned. So he had these field recordings of all this wildlife that was in Chernobyl. They hadn't been seen for decades, or in the case of bears, for over 100 years.
Now they are bright green, glowing in the dark, and setting off every fucking Geiger counter from here to Minsk. But apart from that, it's fine.
Actually, they've noticed with things like wolves that they've gone towards more solitary rat hunting behavior.
Oh yeah,
Peckham Spring available now.
Yeah,
but the solitary rat hunting behavior is more akin to an overabundance of possibly small game.
It was Oppenheimer, Potato Revan. It was Oppenheimer. He was quoting the Bhagavad Gita. I am death, I am the destroyer of worlds.
Gotcha.
It's a pretty big fucking bomb, wasn't it? Yeah, that Bobby Oppenheimer, he knows how to make an explosion, doesn't he? Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. The reason you said that. No, I was trying to remember if I haven't heard it or I'd forgotten it, but you said possible change behaviour because of overabundance of small prey. Therefore, don't need to be pack animals anymore, right?
Well, these are not. Well, this is a nice conversation for what's supposed to be. What is supposed to be a bit of a, bit of
pop culture. Exactly, Doc.
A stream that's supposed to be.
Wrestle back your channel, darling.
A bit more positive than most.
Well, if you want to get positive, what about that Tom Baker? What great episodes they were? Fantastic.
Oh, positively glowing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Glowing, yeah.
Speaking of positive, I'm pretty sure I've got some more toys in the post. I'll be right back.
Okay. Tom and I went to the same drama school. So
I was just about to point out that Chernobyl thing might have been a silver lining of when it comes to the wildlife in the region. It's thriving. Mm-hmm. It's really thriving, and you wouldn't expect it. But there's animals coming back that are healthier than you'd expect, and they've set off Geiger counters. No cancers or anything. Enough, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The people that have moved back there, they're making it to the late 90s more than what people should.
Wow, that's
especially
unexpected.
Considering that there's basically no amenities there.
Right.
It's
that
like if you did a futuristic post-apocalyptic wasteland, it looks like it actually would be really good in comparison to what people think it would be.
Well, yeah, the radiation levels have dropped quicker than expected, haven't they? Much quicker than expected. The radiation level, the background radiation has dropped. And I said this would have been 2006. So we're talking 15 years ago, when the professor brought in this field recording, and there's a lot of noise in the field recording because a lot of animals are in the area. No, there was no actual sound. They said the bears are back. They obviously didn't record bears on the audio track, but there was a lot of wildlife. They were surprised. So
and you got to think about it. The birds and animals are traveling through supposedly deadly levels of radiation, and a lot of them are drinking from the cooling ponds. It's like, if there's this big Terminator wasteland of post-apocalyptics in the future, like they show in the movies, an interesting take would be a very diverse semi-biological paradise. That would be a take I would like to see, because there is calls for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one way, it's fantastic, We're talking to wipe ourselves out, but nature's going to carry on without us, and I'm sure nature will be very glad to carry on without us, or without most of us.
I just like the idea of futuristic survivors going on about the past people being so dangerous to the environment while they're walking through a semi-paradise.
Yeah, because
the past people killed the world, but
it's accurate. Oh yeah, if you make that movie and then try and push it that now we've got to have a nuclear apocalypse. See what the future's going to be. If you want to end global warming, we've got to wipe out humanity for the benefit of nature. We need the nuclear apocalypse.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Maybe, yeah. Someone hear this stream and they'll get the movie made to push the agenda.
All right, I think that's enough of that. All right, I think.
Maybe they'll get the like in the Time Traveler, you'll get the Murlocs living underground and the people above the ground and split broken moon in the sky.
Did you see the new version of Time Machine from about 10 years ago?
No.
You got the old version with Rod Taylor from the 50s. There's a newer version as well.
I think that's the only version I've seen, the new one.
All right, that's the one made in conjunction with H.G. Wells' grandson. Yeah, in the old version, the Morlocks don't speak. So the new version they do. And I think it's been so long since I read the Time Machine. I think in the books, do they? Well, don't they ever? No, don't they ever in the book? As I recall, it's been so many decades I've read it. I don't they ever speak to the guy in the book, but say in the earlier movie, the Morlocks don't speak because, as you know, the new one they do speak. And H.G.
So, Dalek, what do you think about our non-Doctor Who related topics?
Well, Time Machine, we've got Doctor Who now.
Oh yeah, what if Doctor Who came into a post-apocalyptic future and he was in a highly radioactive area, but everybody was thriving? How would he react?
Feel not of any use. Yeah.
If
it was Tom Baker, if it was Tom Baker, would
he be able to use his sonic screwdriver as a guidance counselor because a guided meter because he can use it as everything else?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, should be. Yeah, probably fine. You could use it as that. Oh no, but actually saying that, I think in the old the classic era, I think he does actually need a Geiger counter. I think at least one episode, like maybe a John Pertwee, he does actually have a Geiger counter. But obviously the new one with Jodie, whatever her name, Jodie Marsh, would have be a Geiger counter. But also, she would find some reason to make a nuisance of herself. Tom Baker said, this is fantastic, leave him to it. Jodie would have to go and find some excuse to make a right nuisance of herself, despite That's become a paradise.
Actually, yeah, the new one would walk into paradise and then have to fix it by getting them out of paradise.
Yeah,
I thought that was something you needed if you didn't know how many penis-headed aliens you had. A Geiger counter.
Oh my, Cockney! How? What goes on in your imagination? Like, what the hell?
What have you been eating in New Zealand? Is it something?
Well, no, it's
growing
H.R.
underground?
Geiger's imagination. See, it's a pun.
Yes,
the pun, Milton. It went way over your head. Even Amore didn't get it.
Well, if it said Giga, I'd have got it. If it said Giga, no problem. But it said Geiger.
Revan, are you still out there? Are you going to join us or not?
Yeah, come on, because Daleks fucked this show completely. Come on, Revan, otherwise it's back to my place.
Where's there some Sarot then?
I don't know. We had an interesting conversation about the positives of Chernobyl.
Yes, right. Yes.
Well, let's put it this way, Dalek. You'll find it all went to custard round about the time you invited Milton onto your show.
I was talking about nature worship and the spirits. The thing with various spiritual and occult systems, in theory, it depends how close the spirits are to our realm or how far away. I think it's ceremonial magic. They seem to be bloody far away, most of them.
What is that? That
That's
music?
a sarod. It's like a it's like a sitar with no frets.
No frets, no fears, no anxieties.
Yeah.
Just go forward in your beliefs.
It's a very calm piece of wood. The sitar's in its case, actually. It's slightly out of tune, this one. Yeah, you're going to have tune, haven't you? Not holding attention. Get 10.
How many instruments do you have, and are you ever going to learn how to play one?
Fuck you. I can improvise very well on them. Some I play better than others, but it all depends on how much practice I've done and how long it's been since I practiced them. Didn't you hear my lovely mandolin earlier? My mandolin playing was lovely. My mandolin playing was nice earlier.
It's a funny thing, and it's a funny thing. William Hartnell said that line, "One day I shall come back," but really in the TV show, in Doctor Who, in the TV show at least, he never did go back.
Well, he's come back to 4 different
actors. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. He pledged to come back.
He sort of come back.
If you look at, if you read like outside stuff like books or
canon,
or a couple of the big Finnish audios, then technically he did go back, but
not canon. He never came back. That line fucker.
In the show, no, he didn't.
Never came back. He lied. He pledged to come back.
As a great man once said before me, if you want my comeback, scrape it off your mother's teeth.
Okay, that's it. I'm out. Good night, everyone.
I win.
Stop turning all your offensive comments into a win. That's just in your mind, Milton. It's really quite tiresome.
I win when somebody's offended.
Well, then you win every time you breathe.
Thank you, Captain Cockney. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. How was that an offensive comment?
Hey, Dalek, yesterday's show with Moises on, that was good. That was a good one. Can't win them all, Dalek.
Yeah. Well, sadly, it doesn't look there's any sign of Moises. I've messaged him twice on Discord, got no reply. There's no, he hasn't shown up in the chat. I don't know where he is.
Maybe he's doing something exciting. Maybe he's having a hot threesome somewhere.
Knowing him, he might be. Yeah.
Oh, really? Does he have a lot of hot threesomes?
He does have a. Well, technically, he could say he does have a really. He does have a really hot, really beautiful hot wife.
And she's into kinky threesomes.
Lucky bastard.
I think he does. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Moisey's personal life on Dalek 451. Wow.
Dalek, why do you know so much about people's sex lives?
Are you part of the threesome?
Like, I can understand knowing about mine. Like, I keep spilling it into Cockney's chat because it's funny, but not everybody does that.
Right. Well,
I have so many questions I don't want the answer to right now.
I mean,
Daleks, do you hate it when I come on?
no. No.
You're about to.
I'm surprised, man. Like, I'm horrible.
You know, he was okay. You know, that whole. Amid that whole, that whole conversation you were having about
Novel.
about
Death, destruction, nuclear.
about radiation and all that. Well, yes, there is a Doctor Who story where he does go into like, I think it was a nuclear power plant. Yeah. It was Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen. Yeah.
Oh, it's an early one then. Okay, early.
Yeah. Sarah Jane Smith, which
John Taylor,
greatest Doctor Who companion of all time. Would you agree with me on that?
Now,
Sarah
there's a
Jane,
musical instrument.
the greatest Doctor Who companion of them all is Sarah Jane Smith.
No, wrong.
No,
Wrong.
certainly
Lala
not the most
Ward.
pulchritudinous.
Lala Ward. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
The greatest Doctor of all time would have to be the current one. They've
Not
successfully
doctor,
changed the world.
assistant.
I'm not
sorry,
saying for
darling.
the better.
He doesn't even
Not
speak
the doc-
English.
No,
Sorry,
not
darling.
not the Doctor. The Doctor's companion.
Companion, Milton. Companion.
Oh.
I know it's a strange word for you.
Oh no, the best companion was that fat bald guy from Little Britain.
Oh god, what was his name?
You're saying Matt Webb's name was in episode.
He actually made a good companion. I know a lot of people don't like the new Doctor Who stuff, but
Master has
a great
5,
companion.
Doctor has 2.
Are you kidding me? He was annoying.
I'm sorry. I can seem to be able to relate to the more annoying characters for some reason. I'm sorry.
I can't even remember his name.
Fame.
Began with an N, I think.
Yeah,
Napoleon.
Remember the beauty. It was a man from Little Britain as the Doctor's companion.
Oh god!
It ties the universes together.
No, I want that one. Yeah, no, I want that one. Not you, Siri. You're so needy. Go away, Siri.
Ugh, Little Britain was shit.
Well, now you only like this. It's more or less banned by the BBC now, isn't it? They won't show it. But they took it off the BBC iPlayer, didn't they? They found it so offensive a couple of years back or last year.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because of various things about it. They decided it's now anti-woke, so they took it off the iPlayer.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly. It was last year. It was a while back. Yeah, I think it was last year, possibly the year before, but I think it was last year.
Go woke, go broke, and everybody hates you, including yourself.
Yeah, well, EE's going through it now, aren't they? EE's put up a campaign, which is a perfectly reasonable campaign, but they're presenting in such a patronising tone that it's really pissing off their customers.
Do you know the one thing I hate the most about this whole woke group? They all have the attitude of they're defeated before they wake up. In fact, they look for more ways to be defeated.
Yeah, they won't play the victim.
It's the worst. They
won't play the victim. Make the world fascist.
The perpetual victim. I know. It's just.
I know.
It's the most. It is the most pathetic way to live I've ever heard.
I have depression and a few other psychological problems, and I can wake up in the morning going, oh, the world's shit, or I can wake up going, okay, I think the world's shit at the moment. That's the reason why I have to go, fuck it all. I'm not going to think the world's shit. I actually have to fight it. It's a fight, not a constant surrender.
And my... let me...
Be the hero of your own story. Nobody else is going to be.
I fucking hate the BBC because I mean the only problem is in my house I can't get away from it because my family never stopped watching the BBC.
What would they like?
Hiding
what they like so much the BBC?
Buy black curtains, buy some dark makeup, and start being a goth kid and hiding in your bedroom.
That's pretty much. That's pretty much what I do every day anyway.
Whenever they're around, you pretend to be really depressed and annoying, so they leave. And when they go away, you go, "Yay! I'm a black and white clown man."
And, look, my family aren't bad people. They're just blind to all the bullshit.
Oh, there's a lot of people like that, isn't there? Just a lot.
Find a question that drives them absolutely nuts and never stop asking it to them until they leave you alone. Like, for example, is this a sci-fi or an anime?
Oh, God. Here we go again.
I love doing that to you.
And do you see what I mean, Dalek?
I mean, he'll never stop doing it.
He's never going to stop doing it. It's not amusing to anybody apart from him, and he's always going to do it.
I don't do it to be mean. One thing is my dad even once said that BBC News is completely unbiased. Yeah, can you believe that?
Oh dear. Maybe you can divorce your family. Thought about that? Have you ever thought you might be adopted? Do you want to tell everyone you're adopted if they're so obsessed with the BBC? Will it make you feel better?
Have you ever thought maybe they all watch the BBC just to annoy you?
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's exactly what I was going
to say. Not my parents, never. But my brother, maybe. I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh no, your brother's like me. I feel so sorry for you. I'm the worst person to live with.
Then again, my brother's he's completely ignorant to the world because literally all he watches and all he does all day is just what he's obsessed with sport. All he ever does is watch sport.
Sport is watching.
Welcome to Things That Annoy Me About My Siblings on Dalek 451.
Watching sport is for soft that can't actually do it.
This is the sound in Dalek's head when his family are watching the BBC. Oh, your brother's coming now. And he wants to watch more sport.
I have $164.
Yeah, but still, it's not enough to get someone assassinated. Not even a cheap assassin's going to do it for 164. I don't think. I could be wrong about that. You might find an assassin at that price. I assume that's why you brought up that you had $164. Mexico. If you want to get someone assassinated, $164 should certainly buy an assassin in Mexico. So that's my recommendation. Let's assume why you brought up that you had these dollars. That's why I would bring up why I had dollars, but hire an assassin.
I was thinking I'm saving up for a $300 book from Poke Grunion, and I was thinking that would be enough money to buy his book on ceremonial magic.
Oh, right. So not about assassinating people. Okay.
No, if I wanted to assassinate people, I mean, I have screwdrivers and knives. I can just tie them up, put a tarp underneath, and have it done. What's your address again, Captain Cockney?
He's the only one that's got daylight, isn't he? We're the idiots up in the middle of the night when we should be sleeping. He's the one that's got the right time zone.
Well, all you other people
that's a good
clock.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the UK. I mean, you're in the UK as well, aren't you, Milton?
No, I'm in New Zealand.
No, you're not.
I'm in a real country. I'm in a country where it rains a lot. There's a lot of ice, occasionally snow, a lot of mud, and a lot of depressed people. Shit, I could be in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like UK. And now we've got the. Now we can have less fun because with Boris being gone, it's gonna be less fun now. It's gonna be more boring. No, Boris may have been a fucking disaster, but at least he was fun. You know, it's entertaining to have a Prime Minister.
I'm going to say something controversial, so you'll have to hear it out. I liked Boris because he was like watching a clown inside Parliament.
Okay, that's
exactly why as well. That's why.
Hang on. This is okay. I'm gonna have to stop you all there because no, that's something I don't know. That is something I don't normally allow on this channel. Politics.
Oh, come on, Boris, it's not politics. Boris is Clown World. I know you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, but
sorry, Dalek, I did not know that. But in my defense, I was only referring to his personality.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. All right. Okay, fine.
All right. Okay. What about his sex life? I mean, he didn't know that he
talk about the man. Talk about the man. Okay, fine. Talk about the man himself, but don't talk about his politics.
I imagine when he's finishing in bed, he goes bam, and the dirt is gone. Yes, I steal a lot of jokes from the comedy galas.
Oh dear.
So evidently I'm Captain Darling. So which one of you is Baldrick?
Well, we've already got a captain. He can be melted.
All right, Blackadder. Where's my delicious bloody plum pigeon?
Yeah, you're definitely Stephen Fry.
All right, that's enough out of you, darling.
Darling.
Oh, by the way, Milton, what was that ceremonial book you mentioned? It's got $200, you reckon?
I was going to get the one from Poke Grunion. And in fact, I can bring up a picture of it because it's on my shopping list. Yes, I have a photographic shopping list because I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I
got tarot cards. Here we go.
Yeah, I went through quite a few tarot packs last year trying to find ones I like. I've already got some here. I went through a various set to see what ones felt right. And I've got a kind of prehistoric one I stuck with, and another one. Oh, a Kali one I've kept.
That's the book I want.
I'll go and StreamYards. All right.
And let's have a. Oh, hang on. Let's have a proper look at this.
Oh, Book of Solomon's Magic. Right, yeah.
The Book of Solomon's Magic.
By Poke Grunion. What else is on my shopping list? Look, The Golden Dawn is on my shopping list.
Oh, I've got that one. Oh my God, Milton, you're talking about books you don't even have. Right, if we're going to do this.
Wait, you don't even.
Did I deal with this? Welcome to talking about shit I've even bought.
You're showing us books you don't even actually own yet.
No, exactly, darling. He's basically showing you a screen on Amazon or eBay.
Yep, I've seen that one before.
You'll fucking do that.
Yeah, I got the Terra Wonderland right here. Cockney, I was showing my shopping list. Very rarely do I keep things on my shopping list.
I was so exciting. Let's all look at the list of things that you don't actually own.
I'm very pleased with my Carly pack I've kept.
It's so fucking amazing, isn't it?
Stone Age kind of pack, primitive pack. It's got raw energy to it. So I'm very pleased with those 2 packs I kept from last year. But I tried about 5 other packs, all went back. There was 2 I kept. Apart from the addition to the ones I've always had for years and years and years. I've obviously got a charge and a connection with because I've had for so long.
Here's my favorite Rider Waite deck.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've got my Rider Waite deck next to my bed. I haven't got that one. I've never seen that one.
It's got 2 extra cards in it, but I keep it there because it works out well.
Oh, okay. And I've got
everybody knows the traditional cards, so I'll just pull out the
extra
ones. Just got to keep my deck in order.
I've got 2 packs of the Golden Dawn Tower pack, the massive ones and the next size down.
Because I do story cards and I don't do the Golden Dawn reading method, I actually keep these 2 in the deck because they actually add very well to the story.
Gotcha. No, Cockney's got a Golden Dawn book. It's one I've got as well.
And
there you go,
Golden Dawn Systems is for funny old men.
Wait, what's wrong one?
It's called Actually Having the Book, Milton.
Mm-hmm. 7 of Hearts. Well, no, I don't mean that. No, I mean 7 of Swords, idiot. There's a heart on it. 7 of Swords.
Idiot.
Yeah, 7 of Swords.
It's the 3 of Swords. It only has 3 in it.
Really? Oh, well, on the screen, it's like 7 on the screen from here. Yeah, okay,
and it says the number 3. I'm pretty sure I'm not a fucking idiot.
No, but it's not very clear on the screen. No, it's not very clear on my screen. Put it that way. Yeah, it doesn't very clear on my screen. Welcome to this tarot discussion.
What devices are you all taking part in this on?
I'm on a PC, but the actual monitor is not high resolution. It's like an old monitor. It's obviously it's clear enough to read, but it's not a high resolution monitor by any means whatsoever.
I'm on a phone I brought 8.
I'm using a chalk pentagram and 3 demons.
You're on okay. So Amora is on a bit of a kind of on a low end PC, and Milton's on a phone. And
well, the PC's okay. It's just the monitor's pretty old and crap.
All right, and obviously, Captain, you're always on your phone. So,
what of it?
I got books on
corners. Nothing.
Mostly up in my cupboard if you want to look.
Oh, I've got. Have you seen the book The Black Toad? Have you seen about Cornwall? That's a West Country magic book I've got here. The Black Toad. But for years and years about that. That was a compilation by a modern witch of older pre-Victorian spells, and it was based mostly on Devon. It's a book called The Black Toad.
Well, I will show you the ones that aren't kept in my ritual box. I might bring that one up. Those 2 up as well. Sorry, it hurts getting up. Wish it didn't.
There was a time we could be
Sharpman Masters books. They're not for the public. Make a crazy old man and you're punished for the rest of your life. That's one I got on runes.
Yeah, I've got some rune stuff here, and obviously, that's I've got.
This is a tiny book, and it's worth just about 200-300 now.
Oh, right. Oh, wow. Amongst my so I've got some books of like physical copies, and I've got somewhere on my hard drives a really interesting. But it's an academic text rather than magic text of runes. It's like the first runic inscriptions and the like about 10 wizards to fuck off and things. Like one of the earliest surviving runic inscriptions is like an anti-wizard spell, which basically translates to English to turn the wizards to fuck off from about 300 AD.
This is a good book on symbols. My favorite one is in a PDF form, but this is a good encyclopedia on them.
Yeah, I've got one that's actually called the Encyclopedia of Symbols. When I've got my main one, there's actually a text called that. So I've got that as a PDF form.
This is a good book on Cornish witchcraft. Do you want me
to make you bigger, Milton?
If you want to.
That's what she said.
This is one of my more
I know named Gemma Gary. I'm wondering if Gemma Gary, because it's in my room. Did she write Black Toad? Say Black Toad's Devon Way. So I'm wondering. And I should know it offhand, but I'm wondering if Gemma Gary also wrote the Black Toad, one I've got here.
This is another Gemma Gary book. This is another one of them Gemma Gary books, and this cost me a whole week's worth of expenditure to get it. If you can't tell, Elizabeth gives me a little bit of money to play with. That's the press. That's
okay.
Yeah.
What's it called?
And that's the title.
Silent and the Truth. Silent at the Truth. I have not heard of that. Silent at the Truth. I have.
I got the black edition, which was a little bit hard for me to find. You can get the other coloured ones pretty easily. That one I actually had to look for.
Yeah, I've just read it. It says Silent at the Truth, Devonshire Witchcraft. So this is going to be overlapping with the Black Toad. Doesn't mean it's like, because the Black Toad's Devonshire as well. It's that area. But it doesn't mean it's the same kind of book. There could be a whole load of stuff not in the Black Toad. That's immediately piqued my interest.
I thought there would be more symbolism in this book, so I've hardly read it, but I still actually like this one for a reference.
I think I've seen that book before, but I don't think I've got it, but I've certainly seen the Slavic Witchcraft book before at some point. Because the interesting thing...
that happens to be the most common one on Slavic Witchcraft, and it's actually a good book. It's got a lot of religious influence, if you don't mind it.
Oh,
this one I'm about to show is a good book on stays, but it's one of the worst books on stays at the same time.
Yeah, I've got a version of that. I've got different cover, or so different imprint. Yeah, I
will. After I'm done showing these off, I will show you the best book on stays. Here we go. My last one from the top shelf. Everybody hates this book, but it's actually a good one for reference. It's mostly historical stuff you can't do these days, and if you can't tell, Wiccans hate my entire collection.
Well, there's not enough huggy tree kind of stuff, I take it, for them.
Wiccans get extremely offended by my entire collection because evidently that's not their practice. And it's like, of course it isn't. I practice witchcraft, not duotheism.
Yeah.
Here is, this is The Sorcerer's Screed.
Oh, another one.
And it's the book for... Now, this is a compilation of different staves from multiple books. And apart from a few pages of alphabets from the region, I think it goes up to the 19th century.
Gotcha.
It is mostly staves. This particular stave, although it probably isn't very visible because of the red ink, this one is to prevent yourself from getting murdered.
Oh, right. Because that Icelandic witchcraft one you've had, it's probably exactly the same one as I've got, but mine's a color-fronted paperback of a woman with an elk. But it's also called Icelandic witchcraft. It may be exactly the same book, different imprint.
That particular one is drawn onto a fox pelt, and it's colored with, I can't remember what blood from what finger, and it's actually the reason why I own my fox pelt, because I made a moon stave out of it, and it's to ward off ghosts. One of my most actually, I'll show you the most interesting one in it, and it just shows you how far people had knowledge of in the 18th century in Iceland. Sorry, it's literally the last stave, but it's not the last page. Is this stave, which happens to look somewhat familiar to something.
What,
if you're wondering if people in Iceland had connections to Egypt, that's where they got their staves from anyway, because that's where they brought in the ceremonial magic. Because most rune staves are actually based off ceremonial magic, and no, they have nothing to do with the runes.
I wouldn't be surprised at all with the connection to, because the Vikings had ambulance, so they would have trade even down. They had Mediterranean trading.
Question, Plogsword.
And this one is a translated grimoire. It's, of course, I got an English translation.
I'm not going to get in trouble for showing this on my stream, am I?
Well, you might do. No. He's putting you at great danger and risk, especially if you believe in magic.
This one's the gold. This one is the gold.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I were you, Dalek.
Yeah, I've got a version. I think I've got a version of the Golden Book here, and now my screen's breaking up as though it's being cursed.
And don't worry, Dalek, I don't currently own any illegal books apart from the Anarchist Cookbook.
Which is do own an illegal book.
Not illegal. You can buy it in a bookshop. Now I've got that as well. But so in theory, it's an illegal book, but I've got it. You can buy it in bookshops. You can order. It's on Amazon, isn't it? The Anarchist Cookbook. I think it's on Amazon as well.
Yeah, it's not. It's no longer illegal. It's considered outdated nonsense. Outdated references now.
Despite the fact you still flow things up with it, yeah.
It was only ever illegal because it had some, I think it was some up-to-date military tactics and crap in it, and now it's the time limit's passed on that.
Oh, I see, right, yeah. I mean, I've also got all the Paladin Press collection, which are now in business, but that includes that copy of that book that's caused a lot of concern, because the book was called How to Kill Someone. The book on assassination, wasn't there? I've got the entire Paladin collection on PDF. And my screen's gone blank since you showed me that last stave book. Literally, it's not coming back on.
Oh, sorry, I turned my screen off.
No, my screen's gone off. I can't get the screen back on at the moment.
Maybe you're just not allowed. Maybe you're just not allowed. Maybe you're just not allowed Icelandic magic because you're not cool enough.
It's a bit late for me because I've got the books here and my physical form, and of course a load of PDF. Well, it would help. I can see the problem. It says the extension is on.
You don't really have a collection of Icelandic staves till you have the two books that have almost all 300 odd of them, which is a combination between the Sorcerer's Creed and actually Sorcerer's Creed is the only one you need.
Well, basically, I'm going to set about correcting that missing from my collection, because I'm pretty damn sure I have not got that in a PDF format at all. So that's something to
Hey, listen.
Count.
Where'd the captain go?
Now I've got my screen back on now. The extension lead unplugged. Well, the extension
I think the captain doesn't like exploring people's religious beliefs.
He's gone to report us, because of course if you go back before 57, this was illegal. Well,
he is
enough to get us arrested.
What happened there? What witchcraft is this?
What happened, Captain?
I know, just suddenly
it is not heresy, and I will not recant.
Something with a goat's head showed up, said, "Where's Milton?" And then before I knew it,
actually, underneath the laws of witchcraft set down by the Old Testament, I actually don't break any of the laws.
Oh yeah, but I'm referring to the English law before. Well, it was finally, 1957, finally repealed the Witchcraft Act. But not about the Old Testament. I'm talking about as in England, the laws as they were. Before obviously people might be. I think offhand the last time someone was arrested was in the 1930s. And repealed that 57, wasn't it, the Witchcraft Act? So as soon as they repealed it, that's when you get all the Gardnerian witchcraft exploding with various covens, because the law being repealed. Milton's coven around before that, like the New Forest coven predates that.
Here's the thing I love people going on about the burning times in England. There was never any burning times in England, and there was less than 50 people hung for witchcraft.
Exactly.
And witchcraft was a hangable offence because it wasn't considered heresy.
Exactly. Heretics
burn. Am I a witch then? Because I'm well hung.
Heretics burn because it purifies their souls. Witches are hanged because that's how you're beyond redemption. So they just hang you and send you to hell.
The thing is, the thing is, I could be done for heresy because I do believe in all the gods. I just willfully do not worship them.
Yeah. So you could also be done for apostasy. Well, in Saudi Arabia, you'd be done for apostasy as well, because you're not saying God doesn't exist, but by the act of not worshipping in Saudi, it's actually it's a death sentence to be an apostate in Saudi.
I believe gods are lesser than man.
Hey, everybody, I'm getting quite tired, so I'm thinking of ending this stream soon.
Well, I think it'd be a good idea, because although I am sort of wide awake, it is now 5 o'clock. I should try and get some sleep. I mean, 2 days ago, I got to bed at 2. I blacked out everything. I didn't wake up till 2 in the afternoon, which makes a change. But I don't want to be sleeping the day away, and I was out cold. But so
yeah, I know what you mean.
You know.
Because, the main reason I started this stream is because, well, I did fall asleep.
You want to hear about the devil, didn't you?
I fell asleep.
The devil.
I fell asleep at a reason. I did fall asleep at a reasonable time, and I woke up around 3. Woke up close to 3 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I thought.
And then you thought, shall I become a devil worshipper? And so I need is Milton D'Amore on to find out if I should become a devil worshipper and sacrifice my neighbours. It's all right. We've all been there.
I think you should sacrifice your neighbors no matter what religion you are. I mean, it's good. It's a good source of protein.
Yep. Actually,
we're in hard times, people.
I do have a cannibal book here. Cannibal recipe book. Yeah, oh yeah, I have one of those. It tells you.
All right, I'm going to go. It's been great.
I'll catch you guys later. Recipes. It's even got.
Oh, great.
That's what it takes.
I love James Watson. And Dalek, I hope you're okay, eh?
Dalek, do you think you might be having some nightmares tonight, Dalek, or this morning? About demons and cannibalism.
After this stream, probably, yeah.
Don't worry, Dalek. You're in our prayers.
Which makes it even worse.
Why does it sound like a threat when I say that? You're in my prayers.
Dalek, just think. Look, Dalek, it's okay. Just don't look under your bed.
That's not ominous.
Never look under your bed, and never have your hand slung over the bed. Last time I did that, I literally felt a hand touching my hand. Looked over, and there was a cold grey hand there, and I was that depressed at the time that I just gently held the hand, and I managed to scare whatever the fuck it was under my bed.
Oh shit.
It's like I just imagining it. It's like, haha, I'm gonna scare Milton, and it was like, oh no.
Right, so this has been a fun stream. We've talked about nuclear fallout. We've talked about apocalyptic scenarios. We've talked about devil worship and witchcraft and all sorts of great things.
Dalek, I love doing streams with you because you put up with the horrible shit,
and we bring it.
I suppose I do. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah. Well, if you want to keep those conversations going, you're gonna have to. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to sod off and go do it somewhere on someone else's channel.
I'm going to bed. It's 5 a.m. I'm gonna black out my room. It's gonna be black on black as far as I can get dark as possible. Get the sun out as far as much as possible, and try and get some effing sleep.
I'm going to stare at a black dot till the world fades away and I see a new one before me.
Yeah, being there. Oh, saying that, yeah. When I did my art Taylor years and years and years ago, galleries. You got like just black painting, just black paintings, and my art teacher revealed to me one of the purposes of those Malevich or black paint. When you're in the gallery, you sit far enough away from them, you just stare at it. And of course, it has that visual effect. The painting jumps out at you. This black square leaps out like a 3D effect. And I've also been in situations like at nighttime where you got the shadows having that effect as well. That's really effective. You sit far enough away, but not too far from anything that's like black, and it will leap out at you, which is awesome, Dalek. You know, a black space leaping out to engulf you. It's a really great feeling.
Is it?
Yes.
Anyway, Dalek's telling us both to fuck off, but he's too polite to say it.
Yeah, but I want to fuck off to sleep anyway, guys. So I'm going to say good night, and may the demons watch over the pair of you. And until next time, guys, good night. I am out of here. I'm going to get some sleep.
Sleep tight.
Good night, Amore. Thank you very much for coming on.
Absolutely no problem. I hope I have lots of lovely dreams, which for me are dark, dark, bloody, bloody, and red. And I thoroughly enjoy them. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on, Dalek. And good night.
Yeah, good night, Milton.
May the darkness watch you, but you never stare back.
Yeah, same to you, I suppose. Well, anyway, yeah, thank you for coming on. Well, folks, this has been quite the show. But not quite like one of my usual live streams, but a good live stream pretty decent live stream nonetheless. Moises, BC Eagle Deb, if you see this stream, Deem, thank you very much for not showing up. but well, no, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ban you from the channel or anything like that. I wouldn't do that to you two. You're my friends. Everybody's welcome on. Everybody's welcome here on my channel or on Skaro. But just remember, if you cause me any grief, if you cause me any grief, you get. Oh, bollocks! That went wrong. Let's try this again. If you cause me any grief, you get. Exterminate. Well. Right. Well, I think this has been a great stream, but I think it really is. Yeah, I'm time to end this. So thank you to everyone everyone showed up in the chat tonight. Thank you for everyone who came on. Thank you, Amore. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Captain Courtney Spark. Great to have you on as always. And you're in the chat now, everybody. Yeah. Again, thank you, Milton, very much. So, but yeah, it's time to call it a night now. So, as I always say, that from the surface of Skaro, this is Dalek 451 signing off. I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.